Dan menjelang penyenaraian itu, Bisnes Awani ingin melihat faedah yang akan dibawa Felda dan juga peneroka. Dalam masa yang sama, apakah kesannya kepada pasaran modal di Malaysia? Dan untuk membincangkan perkara berkenaan, kita bersama Dr. Nazri, Ketua Penyelidikan Runcit Affin Investment Bank. Once again, Dr. Nazri, it's good to have you here in our studio. And speaking of the listing of FGVH, probably in April, May or June, we're not sure about that yet. And do you see Felda, the listing of Felda, as a game changer, the next big thing, probably after the listing of Petronas Chemicals?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we see Felda IPOs as the biggest IPO since Petronas Chemical come into the market 2 years ago. In fact, we expect the market cap of Felda IPO to be around 45 billion ringgit. Easily, it can be in the top 10 biggest market cap in Bursa Malaysia, if not top 5. In fact, we believe now already we can see a lot of queries, interest, especially from foreign investors. We see a strong appetite among the foreign investors, especially on commodity stocks in stable jurisdiction, I would say in Malaysia. And definitely we know that Felda currently have a revenue of about 15 billion ringgit. They already contribute to about 20% of the total world output in CPO. Definitely, I would say that this IPO is very timely, and we see already that the CPO price now is very strong, above 3,000 ringgit. Already, we see the plantation stocks get a spillover effect before the listing, in anticipation of the listing that's likely to come on the second quarter of this year. Yeah, I think the timing is just nice on the second quarter this year.
And also speaking of FGVH, which is of course the single largest plantation entity in the world once it's being listed, how will it actually shape the market for this year?
I would say we're definitely going to see the world largest plantation entity if this happen. Easily this will knock out Sime Darby, maybe to number 2. In fact, we are going to see probably Felda expanding their profile away from plantation, maybe going into, I would say, downstream of plantation activities, which have more margin in this case. We view this IPO as a chance for them to do more acquisition, not in Malaysia, but also outside Malaysia, given the extra funds that they get. Don't forget that Felda can also do other things. I would say in this case is to expand their research, for example, because now I think the issue is technology that Felda have, basically to boost the yield that they have on par with the world-class plantation stocks such as Wilmar International or KL Kepong and IOI. I think we are on track. Okay. In fact, we think this is also in line with the part of the Prime Minister Transformation Project, basically to boost the income of Felda into a middle class. Yeah. Going forward, I think over the next few years. Bear in mind, currently Felda has roughly about 100,000 settlers family, and under cooperative Felda they have 240,000 members. And if you add all the dependents that they have, easily this can add up to about 3 million people. I would say Felda is a backbone of agriculture community. If Felda is successful, definitely we see Malaysian agriculture sector as a whole will also get benefits.
Okay, and speaking of which, obviously we have to talk about the benefits to the Felda settlers themselves, since there have been much controversy over it for the past, for the past few months. So, do you think that they should already put, the issue to rest, and there's nothing to worry about? Benefits will still, it's going to be, like you said, a game changer for them as well.
Okay, that's good, Serena. First of all, I'm not a politician. I'm actually an independent analyst. We look at this from both angles, I would say. I think the main issue here is, of course, the benefits. The benefits definitely should go to settlers. The perception is that it's not clear whether the benefits go to third parties. Okay, if we can make it clear that the benefits go 100% to settlers, not to the third party, then I think this should not be a problem. But the way we look at this is the main crux is definitely governance. Who are the key people, decision makers that is going to float Felda, and who is going to be the major controlling shareholders of the new Felda post-listing. Obviously, we understand that the cooperative Felda is going to be the major the biggest controlling shareholder of Felda post-listing. So that means the benefit should go or should accrue directly to the Felda settlers. The other issue is definitely whether the windfall that the settlers get can sustain, over the long term. Okay, we do not want to see that the settlers get a windfall about say 5 billion. It only lasts for 5 years, and after that they don't have income anymore. But I'm sure, given the track record that whoever that is going to bring this IPO, we believe the benefit is going to be long terms. If we can put professional, not politician, to run Felda post-listing. We think they're already being planned here to put a professional, which is the bloodline of the Felda settlers. Remember, Serena, we are talking about the third generation of Felda at this moment. And if you look at the younger generation, I don't think they are keen to manage estates. Okay, they are looking at a new business model, which I think this is something that the new Felda can offer. We're going to talk about international expansion, acquiring new segments, maybe in properties, not only plantation, but also in other things, shipping or even banking. We know now Felda has some stakes in banks, for example, Maybanks. So this could be, I would say, it could be some of the benefits that can accrue to the young generation of Felda settlers.
Okay, Dr. Nazri, we'll go for a short break and we'll come back right after the commercials and we'll talk more about this. Bisnes Awani Plus berehat seketika, jangan ke mana-mana.
Isnin hingga Kamis. Sudut Pandang bersama Kamarul Bahrin Harun dan Nazri Kahar.
Transformasi bandar itu selalunya berhadapan dengan beberapa masalah.
Masalahnya adalah masalah komunikasi. Sebuah kota, kita harus juga memberikan ruang.
Kupasan dan analisis berita tempatan dan antarabangsa.
Sekali lagi berkenaan dengan Arab Spring, kebangkitan rakyat di Timur Tengah.
Mereka terpaksa bertindak dengan lebih agresif untuk mempertahankan kekuasaan.
Sudut Pandang 10 malam di Bisnes Awani. Berita segenap dimensi. Setiap Ahad, bukan gosip semata-mata, tapi fakta dan informasi dunia hiburan.
Saya masih sibuk dan belum lagi berkahwin.
Zani Farhana tidak akan meninggalkan kerjayanya sebagai seorang doktor gigi.
Indies becomes a term that I don't even know how to define it anymore.
We are on our way to our location for first set for the official shoot of Berdua.
Kita ni genre filem crime heist movie. Nak bagi bawah bintang 2.5 atau 3 lah.
Gala TV Plus, Ahad 4.30 petang di Bisnes Awani. Berita segenap dimensi.
Bertemu kembali dan kita masih lagi bersama dengan Ketua Penyelidikan Runcit Affin Investment Bank Dr. Nazri membincangkan tentang masa depan Felda Global Ventures lepas penyenaraiannya. Dan Dr. Nazri maybe before we go deeper into this topic, probably you can share with us what are the main achievements that we saw in Felda for the past probably 56 years.
Felda was founded in 1956. Okay. So now we're talking about 56 years. Felda has grown. I would say yes, Felda now is currently a corporate major player, not only Malaysia, but also in the world. Felda has already, I would say, operation in 12 countries. They have 40 subsidiaries. As I said, their revenue is already 15 billion ringgit, and their profit close to 1 billion. They are currently producing about 1/5 of the total world CPO output. I remember the total land bank that they have currently 800,000 hectares. We're talking about basically 1/5 of the total crop areas in Malaysia. They also own 70 oil palm mills and 7 refineries. I would say Felda has made a significant achievement, not only from business point of view, but also from socio-economic points of view. They have a fantastic growth centre. Now we can see Felda has a lot of townships. If you go to Felda Township, we see very clean towns. Infrastructure super world class. Unlike 20 years ago, there's some problem with water and all that. But now we can see they have fantastic quality infrastructure. They also have expanded into non-farm activities, which is trading, services, education. In fact, I think the biggest achievement that Felda has made is in the area of institutional framework. We see they have great talents, great professionals, which come mostly from their own bloodline, the third generations. Their culture is performance-based. I think they have fantastic achievement, and in fact, I've been informed that there are many settlers that has become millionaires. Yeah. Because of their land has become urbanized, so they managed to sell it out at a handsome profit. So I think yes, Felda has made tremendous achievement over the last 56 years.
And as you mentioned, giving all this optimism surrounding its listings, and like you mentioned, one fifth of the total CPO output and whatnot. So can we expect FGVH to be as big as Petronas? Give it probably another 7 or 8 years by 2020.
That is a good question. The aspiration here is to make Felda, the new Felda, to be part of Fortune 500 companies. In other words, top 500 largest company in the world. I think given sometimes, yes, Felda would be able to make it into these prestigious clubs. But of course, I don't think the growth will be as fast as Petronas. But despite that, depending on the post-listing plan that we have and the professional that manage it, I think, yes, Felda will be able at least to be on par with other world-class companies. As I said, the current revenue is 15 billion. We talk about 3 or 4 multiple market valuations from post-listing. We're talking about 45 billion to 60 billion market cap. That, to me, is already in the, I would say, in the second tier of the large market cap in the world.
And also, speaking of laying the foundation for the third, for this is currently the third generation, and probably for the next generation, what sort of a diversified business can we expect in the future from?
I would say most of the business model will be to complement the collective risk of Felda. Because now if you look at the current business model of Felda, especially Felda Holding, they are dependent a lot on CPO price, I would say. If the CPO price is good, the palm oil price is good, they will make money. But if the CPO price is not so good, that will affect their bottom line. So the new business model definitely is to diversify away from this plantation, to find another business model that have little correlation with CPO price. Yeah, I think in this case they should go maybe acquire, I would say, downstream business that have higher margin and more stable, I would say, revenue. They can also venture into properties, logistics and shipping, depending on the plan that they have. I think most important right now is that to have the right talents in place, and not only that, to have better technology and better spending on R&D going forward in the near terms. And apart from that, I think Felda also needs some what we call long-term education plan, to create what we call future manpower for them, because the issue right now is definitely talents, not only Felda, but you can also see it on other commodity stocks in Malaysia. We're talking about talent crunch here in Malaysia. But we know that the listing will be in April or May or even June. So we don't have much time now. But already you can see the rumours has already excited the market at this point of time.
And also with the listing, we're actually looking at a transition whereby the listing would actually move Felda Settlers away from a model where wealth is based on personal profit. So what does this actually mean to Felda Settlers?
Well, what it means here is that the post-listing, the settlers will get a lot of, I would say, benefit, not directly from the plantation that they manage. Because currently we know that about 60% of the plantation owned by Felda is settler managed. And settlers actually get 3 benefits. First, by selling the fruit, the FFB, directly to the Felda mills. Secondly, they can get benefits from the dividend. I think currently the dividend Felda has been good. Over the past 30 years, the average dividend was 14%. We expect post-listing, the dividend should be higher because they will do strategic expansion into more lucrative business. Not only that, the other benefit is, of course, the indirect socio-economic program that Felda do. Because currently Felda Holding charge about 3% from the profit they make by managing about 40% of the plantation that they own. After this, we would say that the settlers will get more benefits. through Koperasi Felda. The average investment that they have before listing is RM6,000. Hopefully after listing they will have higher average investment. Higher average investment means they will have higher dividends. Not only that, the Prime Minister also make it clear there will be more non-monetary benefit as well. It's possible that the new Felda may have more money to go into education. We may see the first Felda University, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see more, futsal, stadiums and that kind of stuff, which I think is very important to the, as you said, the third generation of Felda settlers.
While the listing itself is actually, there's a lot of hype over the listing and whatnot, but we must not forget that they are also prone to risk as well. For example, the volatile commodity market, and then that's only one of it. Probably you can share with us what are the other risks that probably...
I would say the most important risk is definitely is the economic risk or the market risk, because now they depend too much on plantation. But they are moving away from that. Okay. Other than that, maybe we can talk about concentration of assets, in certain sectors. But again, they're moving away from that, from upstream to downstreams. And then the other risk definitely will be, I would say, talent risk, talent crunch. Now you can see Felda maybe have to resort to technology to compensate for the lower yield that they have at this moment. Economically speaking, we're talking about definitely the economic risk in the near terms. Any slowdown in the USA economy, or of course, Eurozone debt crisis will definitely impact the equity market over the next 2 quarters, and this can also impact the flotation of Felda. But I think again the flotation is meant for long term. We make it clear that the benchmark or the business model that Felda can use can be Rabobank. Rabobank is currently the world largest agriculture bank, which have a more or less similar model as Felda. They are currently the top 30 banks in the world. They are owned by 141 local cooperatives. And they have assets about 600 billion euro. They are owned by the local cooperative, but yet they have a superb business model post-listing. So I think we can look at Rabobank, great bank in Netherlands, as a business model for Felda.
For Felda. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Nazri Khan. And of course, it's nice having you again in our studio. Alright. Dan itu sebentar tadi Ketua Penyelidikan Runcit Affin Investment Bank, Dr. Nazri Khan. Dan Bisnes Awani Plus berehat seketika selepas ini. Main peranan penting dalam wujudkan koridor.